Welcome to Zone 6 Picks, your go-to source for daily sports betting predictions, expert insights, and free picks across the biggest games in the NBA, WNBA, NFL, MLB, NCAA, and more. We specialize in delivering accurate, research-backed betting content with no subscriptions, no hidden fees, just straightforward betting advice you can trust. Before we get started, a quick shout-out from my partner Zone 6.
What's up, family? Thanks for tapping in with Zone 6 Picks, where we drop game picks every single day. Straight free picks, no pay for play. If you like winning, this is the zone you need to be in, Zone 6. Just show the channel some love, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't never miss a money play. Let's eat.
Welcome back to Zone 6 Picks. Today we're breaking down the WNBA slate, starting with the matchup between the Minnesota Lynx and the Indiana Fever. Set to tip off Friday, August 22nd, at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The current line has Minnesota favored by 6.5, meaning they'll need to win by 7 or more to cover, while the Fever would cash tickets if they win outright or lose by 6 or less. The Lynx come into this game as the league's top team with a 28-8 record, powered by the best offense in the WNBA and the stingiest defense, holding opponents to just 76 points per game, even without MVP candidate Nafisa Collier, who remains sidelined with an ankle injury. Minnesota has managed to stay competitive behind their depth and balance, posting a 4-2 record in her absence. That said, they're playing on the second night of a back-to-back, after falling to the Atlanta Dream 75-73, and they've failed to score more than 75 points in back-to-back outings. The Lynx also find themselves trending to the under, going 4-0-1 since August 8th. On the other side, the Indiana Fever stand at 19-16 and sit firmly in the playoff picture. They thrive on scoring, putting up nearly 85 points a night, but defensively, they rank in the bottom half of the league, giving up 82 per game. Indiana enters this game well-rested after 5 full days off since their overtime win over Connecticut, while Minnesota is in a fatigue spot. The Fever's challenge, however, comes from injuries. Caitlin Clark is battling a groin issue. Sophie Cunningham is out for the season with an MCL tear, and depth pieces like Ari McDonald and Sydney Carlson are also unavailable. Still, Indiana has won 6 of their last 10 games and has a respectable 10-8 ATS record at home. Historically, Indiana has fared well in this series, winning 6 of the last 10 against Minnesota. Most recently, they pulled off a 74-59 upset back in July as double-digit underdogs. That game went way under the total, and interestingly, Caitlin Clark didn't even suit up while Nafisa Collier did. The key situational angle here is rest versus fatigue. Minnesota is grinding through a back-to-back, while Indiana has been waiting, fresh and ready. That edge is huge in the WNBA, especially this late in the season. So what's the play? While the Lynx remain the superior team and are favored to win outright, the rest advantage, injury factors, and head-to-head history all point toward the Fever being able to keep this game tight. My recommendation is Indiana plus the 6.5. Projected final score, Minnesota Lynx 85, Indiana Fever 80. That's a 5-point Lynx win, which gets the job done for Fever backers at plus 6.5. Next, we head to the Big D, where the Seattle Storm and the Dallas Wings face off at College Park Center in Dallas. The spread currently sits at Storm minus 7.5, making Seattle the road favorite in this contest. The Storm enter this game at 18-18, clinging to the 8th seed and looking to solidify their playoff spot. While their overall record and numbers suggest a balanced team, the recent form has been a concern. Seattle has failed to cover in 8 of their last 9 games, although they're coming off a win against Chicago. Offensively, the Storm are averaging 84.4 points per game, but their defense has slipped, allowing nearly 89 points per contest over their last 9. They will again lean heavily on Nneka Ogwumike and Skylar Diggins, but they're also missing key depth pieces like Katie Lou Samuelson, Jordan Horston, and Nika Moole. On the other side, the Dallas Wings are 9-27, already eliminated from playoff contention, but still proving to be a tricky team for bettors. Despite the poor overall record, they've covered the spread in 7 of their last 10 games and 3 of their last 4. They come into this matchup off a 1-point loss to the Sparks, where they cashed as an 8-point underdog. Paige Buchers has been the clear bright spot for Dallas, putting up 19.7 points per game and dropping a career-high 44 in her last outing. While the Wings are short-handed with Eric Ogunboyle, Tyasha Harris, J.J. Quinerly, and Lee Uuru all out, Buchers has been carrying the scoring load and keeping them competitive. Looking at the head-to-head matchup, Seattle holds a 2-1 edge this season, but Dallas has managed to cover in 2 of those 3 games. Interestingly, all 3 meetings have also gone under the total, with both teams struggling to push the pace when facing each other. The betting markets have pushed the line towards Seattle, but their ATS struggles and recent defensive lapses raise questions about whether they can cover such a large number on the road. When you put it all together, the Storm are the better team and should win outright, but this is a tough spot for them to cover. Dallas has nothing to lose, is playing loose, and with Paige Buchers in rhythm, they have enough to keep the margin respectable. My recommendation is to back the Wings plus the points. Projected score, Seattle Storm 85, Dallas Wings 79. That's a 6-point Storm win, which would give Dallas the cover at plus 7.5. Moving to the last game of the night, we're now turning our focus to the matchup between the Golden State Valkyries and the Phoenix Mercury. Tipping off Friday night at PHX Arena, the spread currently favors Phoenix by 6.5, meaning they'll need to win by at least 7 to cover, while Golden State can cover with a win or by keeping it within 6 points. Phoenix enters this game sitting 4th in the standings at 21-14. Boasting a strong home record of 11-6. Their defense at home has been particularly reliable, holding opponents to just over 77 points per game. Still, they've struggled against the number lately, covering just once in their last 5 contests. The Mercury are also in a tough scheduling spot, coming off a back-to-back after being blown out by the Las Vegas Aces last night. To add to the challenge, star scorer Collie Copper left that game with a rib injury and is listed day-to-day. If she's limited or unavailable, it would be a serious hit to Phoenix's offensive production. The Valkyries enter this one at 18-17, currently holding the 7th seed and fighting to solidify their playoff position. They've been one of the league's best teams against the spread, carrying a 21-13 ATS record overall and a solid 7-5 ATS mark on the road. Even though they've dropped 2 straight, including a 98-91 loss to Phoenix earlier this week. They've had 2 full days of rest to prepare. Injuries have piled up with Monique Billings, Kayla Thornton, and Cecilia Zandalicini all out, but they do get a lift with Tiffany Hayes expected back. Paige Buchers has also continued her breakout, highlighted by Veronica Burton's recent career-best performance that kept their last meeting competitive. In 3 head-to-head meetings this season, Phoenix has won all 3, but Golden State has covered the spread in 2 of them. These matchups have also leaned toward the under, largely due to the Valkyries' elite defense, which ranks top 3 in both field goal and 3-point defense, while also leading the league in rebounding. That style allows them to keep games close even when they're outmatched offensively. When you factor in Phoenix's short turnaround, the uncertainty around Copper's status, and Golden State's proven track record of exceeding market expectations, this sets up as a spot where the underdog has real value. The Valkyries' defensive intensity and rest advantage should allow them to stay within striking distance. My recommendation is to back Golden State plus the 6.5. Projected final score, Phoenix Mercury 79, Golden State Valkyries 74. That would be a 5-point win for Phoenix, giving Valkyries bettors the cover. Zone 6 family, let's run a quick recap of today's WNBA slate. In Indiana, I'm backing the Fever to cover the plus 6.5 against the Minnesota Lynx. In Dallas, I've got the Wings to cover the plus 7.5 against the Seattle Storm. And in Phoenix, I'm taking the Golden State Valkyries to cover the plus 6.5 against the Mercury. It's officially a dog day here at Zone 6 Picks. Every play on the board is the underdog. We're looking for these teams to fight. Keep it close and cash for us. That's it for today's breakdowns. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily betting analysis. The grind doesn't stop, and we'll be back tomorrow with more plays.